Hey Adam.
Yes.
I have some bad news.
Oh.
I think this is the end of NXT.
Wait, what? Why? What?
Yeah, I know we joke about how WWE's gone downhill because they cater to an 80-year-old, 3-year-old, 85-year-old, and Vince.
Yes.
Yeah, I
He's
saw
actually a
some
septuagenarian, but whatever.
Yeah, I've seen some recent hires that I think this is the end. I mean, they hired a bunch of grandpas.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me send you the photo.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
See,
Wow.
You got Grandpa Dog and you got Papa Michaels, and there were their younger buddy Hunter.
Younger buddy. Oh, God. They've aged. You know, the funniest part is, out of this group, like, one of their friends looks younger than them.
Wait, what are you talking about younger? These are old people that they've hired.
No, dude. Everyone knew they were DX. Degeneration
That's
X.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Road Dogg.
Yeah.
That only Triple H is in that photo.
No, that they're. You know what, Tim? Just start the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week we've got predictions. We've got results. God, why do we have more predictions? I didn't even realize there was a show coming on. And we got a little bit of news. Tim, how you doing?
How do you not know that the greatest show, Backlash, is not coming on?
Because for me, Backlash has been and always should be and forever should be the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I'm sorry. When you have the greatest match ever on your card, like, that's actually gonna live. Yeah, that's really gonna live up to that.
I'm sorry, greatest match ever? Where? I don't see anything on this card.
I love the tweet that Randy Orton responded to. Something I heard Backlash sucked. It's like, and he responded with, "Well, that's great. It's a week from now, you fucker."
It's like, yeah, but it's been filmed already. But unlike other,
Randy, just so you know, we know it's gonna suck because, well, it's the main roster, and you're on it.
The burns on Randy Orton. I'm going to be honest, not a Randy Orton fan. The weird part is, though, Randy Orton on, like, not necessarily always on Twitter, but, like, on social media, like the videos that he does, where it's just, you know, I kind of like that guy. Like, I'm like, no, he's just a family guy. All right, yeah, kind of like that guy. But then, like, Randy Orton, the character, oh, I hate you.
Yeah,
I hate you so much. And it's not because you try to do things that make me want to hate you. I just go, God, you are the most boring person in the ring.
Yeah. And we'll get to him, get more about Randy Orton later. But, Adam, we have predictions.
Yes.
Let's try not to take the whole show to do these. Oh, wait, this is Wait, my bad. This is WWE.
Yeah.
This should be pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 7 matchups confirmed so far for the show.
Yes.
Nothing's been listed as pre-show yet. So
nope.
There'll probably be a pre-show card added. I don't think any of these cards will actually make it be put on the pre-show.
You know that I don't see the tag team championship.
Yeah, they're expecting that might be added
Yeah.
to the card, which would probably be the pre-show at this point.
Either Raw or SmackDown's tag team championships. I don't see either one. So, who knows?
Yeah, I know. So we'll see. But the card goes, we have Edge and Randy Orton facing off in the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Ugh.
Then we have Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley. Braun Strowman is defending his Universal Championship against The Miz and John Morrison. Asuka defends the Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus go at it. We have Bayley and Sasha defending their newly won Women's Tag Team champions against the former champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and the Iconics Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
I'm sorry, you pronounced it wrong.
The new U.S. champion Apollo Crews defending against former champion Andrade.
Okay, you pronounced Billie Kay and Peyton Royce's tag team name completely wrong. It is the Iconics.
No, it's the Iconics.
It's the Iconics.
The first I is silent.
No, you have to pronounce but Iconics.
No.
Jeez.
No, I don't. No. Oh, by the way, just so you know, there's actually a rumor going around that we're going to be getting new championship belts.
Ooh.
One is going to be the NXT championship. It's going to be the same design, just bigger.
Okay.
I wonder why they went out and make a bigger championship. Maybe because a Giant just debuted on his first takeover. Who's going to be holding it soon?
Yeah. Obviously.
Or maybe another big guy who's on that same card who holds a different championship will be winning it soon.
Maybe.
And they just want a bigger belt? I don't know. And the other one is actually the United States Championship is supposed to be getting a complete remake.
Okay.
And the rumor is we'll actually start seeing these debut once they can start selling replicas on WWE.com, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm ecstatic for the U.S. title to get a revamp.
I feel, yeah, why not?
I love the design that they've had this entire time, but it's way overdue for a remake. And I love the design of the Intercontinental Championship. The only few things I have a problem with the Intercontinental Championship is it's all at one plate. That center circle and everything should have been like raised up, kind of like the UK Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
If you had more of that kind of layered, that belt would look even better. But so I'm interested. If we get the design that everyone keeps putting out for the last few years for the U.S. title, which is basically the intercontinental version of the U.S. title, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, the one that almost looks exactly like the Intercontinental title.
If you're gonna go in that direction, just bring back the WCW version of it because that looked far better.
There is one that I'm looking at that straight up has like a bald eagle on the front. It actually kind of looks like the old school Intercontinental title. And
yeah,
it's mostly it's a black strap. The two on the title center plate itself. You got a bald eagle across the top, United States underneath that. Heavyweight wrestling champion. You could just actually straight up, since it's clearly a concept, you can get rid of the heavyweight part of it. Just call it the United States Championship.
Yeah.
Also, they wouldn't put wrestling on a WWE belt. I'm sorry. Like, that just won't happen.
They have been on them in the past.
But they won't do now.
It was on the old the retro Intercontinental Championship that they just got rid of.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nowadays they wouldn't.
But
I
yeah,
always like this idea.
I like that design.
If you actually look at one of the side plates for the current U.S. Championship with the Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
If you take something like that over on the main plate with the flag in the background or something like that, that would look really cool. Actually, one of the design belts I made for my wrestling promotion for Total Extreme Wrestling actually has that kind of in there. So it's definitely one of those things. But yeah, this idea of doing this like Intercontinental. Actually, I'm looking at a picture right now. It's Baron Corbin holding it. It's like a white main plate silver with red sides on the little side things that break down. With the American flag behind the bald eagle.
Yep.
Ugh.
I kind of like it.
It looks terrible.
If you're going to do that,
just go back to the classic WCW United States Championship. It's the same kind of design, just different. and update that.
I mean,
It'll
honestly,
look far better.
I don't know if you have it on your update, but there is a red and white striped belt, which clearly has the just straight up WWE in the center. It looks like how the Universal title and the WWE title and the women's title, that's nearly the same center plate. And it would just basically say underneath it, United States Championship.
Yeah, I see. I can see that one. The one I like that's on Google right now that I'm looking at right now, it's like a diamond one with the flag behind it. You have the center is silver with the United States. You have some wrestling designs on the side. It's kind of like basically taking what they already have in a sense, but just making it the plate shaped differently, and they got a few different things on there, and it works.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see what they do with the new belt, but let's get back to the predictions because that's what we're here for.
Sorry.
Right now. Well, I'll take credit for that one for taking long because that was me.
Yeah.
But we're talking about new championship belts. I get excited about that stuff. And if we get anything close to a redesign like what we got with the Intercontinental Championship, well, I know a lot of people don't like it. I like it. It's fresh. It's different. So, Adam, you will be defending your championship after retaining it in a near flawless victory.
I nearly did it.
Takeover.
I nearly did it. First time almost a clean win for me. Yes, there wasn't a draw. There wasn't any shenanigans and me retaining through shenanigans. Nope, it was a clean win. Anyway, so I'm going to go first. We're going to go from 1 to 7 on Wikipedia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Edge versus Randy Orton. I don't care, but I want to see Edge win here.
I don't care. I'm going to put down I don't care, and that guarantees you lost.
Edge. I'm going to say Edge here because I like Edge. That's all it is.
Yeah. I know. I have a feeling they're going to go with Randy because Edge won the last man standing one. So now it's a wrestling match. So Randy will win this one to get a third match at SummerSlam.
Of course they're going to. God, why?
But I'm going to go with the safe bet because I did this last week for TakeOver on one match, and I know I shouldn't have. On hindsight, that cost me the match. Cost me a draw at least. So I'm gonna go with Edge because I think it's a safe bet. Okay, we're gonna go for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley is challenging for Drew McIntyre's championship. They've done an excellent job of building this feud up.
Good. That's good to hear.
Ironically, when you think back a few weeks ago, where Bobby Lashley was and how well they've built this up, there is rumors that they could do a surprise. Bobby Lashley wins it, so they can set up Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the title, where Brock Lesnar would win the belt back.
Please no. Please
no.
Please no.
I'm going with Drew.
Same here.
I'm not opposed to Bobby Lashley winning it actually this weekend, but Drew needs a longer reign. If you're going to do it, the soonest you can have him lose it would be ideally SummerSlam, but you don't want to hold this feud going all the way to SummerSlam.
Right.
Would be next month's pay-per-view. Extreme Rules, I think.
Yeah.
So that would be if I was going to drop the belt, put the belt on Bobby, I'd do it there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules. I wouldn't extend this feud into Extreme Rules. I'd have something else weird happen at Extreme Rules that sets up Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Kind of like they're doing the Fiend with this filler feud with our next matchup, Braun Strowman versus The Miz and John Morrison. I'm just going to put Braun Strowman down for both of us.
Yes, thank you. I remember a time when pay-per-views were definitely the place where you could see things changing. Like, it could happen here, or it might not happen. We are looking at matches where we're looking at longer term, and the company's not looking longer term, and you're going, so they could pull the trigger here, but it doesn't seem like a valid reason to pull the trigger and move the belt to the Miz or John Morrison. Or of course Braun Strowman's going to hold this belt.
You're missing. We just had one of those predictions. It was called Double or Nothing.
Well, yeah, Double or Nothing. Once again, it was literally anything could happen here outside of a few matches.
Yeah. We predicted that show pretty carefully, but it was one of those things that we were not sure for a fact this was the direction they were going to go. So clearly, the guy who's been dominating predictions for almost the last year lost in that predictions because it
was just enough chaotic.
No, I went with what was more logical, but they went with more the good feeling go home show, which is what entertaining show, which is what there's only one decision I still refute that it was a bad call overall. Cody, as much as I like Cody winning the TNT Championship, Lance Archer I think should have won it overall, but again, I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
So, but versus where when they make a change in WWE and you're like, why did you do that?
Well, either why did you do that or okay, so we're doing that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
With no build. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. They're now the champion.
So our next matchup is Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship against Nyla Jax. I just put Asuka down for both of us.
Thank you.
So our next matchup is Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. I'll take this one because basically we already picked the last two.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go for on this one.
You know what? This is the type of match that could go in either direction, honestly. You could have a match with, but it's also kind of Jeff Hardy's last ride.
Yep.
So I want to say Jeff Hardy walks out of this the winner.
So you going with Jeff Hardy?
Yeah, you know what? Put me down with Jeff Hardy.
Okay, I'm going with Sheamus because he already got victory over Sheamus in the Intercontinental Championship tournament, and this feud is not ending at Backlash. So Sheamus needs to get some kind of win here. It may be some cheap win. If they do the whole Jeff wins by disqualification, but it looks like Sheamus went over anyway because he got the dominant, would be stupid. They're pushing this feud into. They want this feud to end at Extreme Rules, where Hardy can go extreme on Sheamus. That's where this is going.
No, I see something else happening.
What's that?
So last pay-per-view, last month, Hardy went over Cesaro.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's going over Sheamus on this one, and then we're going to have Cesaro, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules.
No, because Cesaro, Sheamus are not a unit anymore, and Cesaro was basically just a throwaway opponent because they didn't want to have Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, which was already building to, at last month's pay-per-view.
So instead, I'm sorry, I don't enjoy watching the same matches pay-per-view after pay-per-view.
See, I did, but when they were so different, the next pay-per-view matchup was going to be different. You knew it.
See, that part of it, that I liked. Those triple threats, I enjoyed. You would be like, oh, okay, so at this pay-per-view, it's these two guys. Okay, well, next month, it's those two guys again. But there's a stipulation this time.
Well, yeah, no. Well, I'm just talking about the Attitude Era, the Attitude Era, and even the Ruthless Aggression Era, when you would have these matches early on of the Ruthless Aggression Era, where you'd have multiple matches of the same, three matches always, big feuds, but each feud was, except for John Cena, because he was always the same: beat down, come back, win. But Batista,
it's the Hogan formula.
Batista, Triple H. There are three right up to the Hell in a Cell matchup. You'd Michaels and Shawn and Triple H. You had these different matchups, and they would constantly be different and unique. Whereas now it's oh, we're going to do this 3 times in a row, and we're going to get the same fucking match every single time.
Yep.
Or maybe we'll do this different. Oh, Nakamura low-blowed Michaels, AJ last night. This time, Michaels, AJ's going to... Don't you think people are going to do it? You're right. We'll have them both kick each other in the balls and get double disqualified.
Yeah.
No one will see that coming, and people will love it. So, all right. So, I'm going with Sheamus because I think they're going to push this into Extreme Rules.
Okay.
50-50 booking until you have to give someone a victory.
Exactly.
And they're going to give Hardy the victory at Extreme Rules because who is Jeff Hardy?
He is part of Team Extreme.
All right, we're going to go with Bayley and Sasha defending I just said NXT. The WWE Women Tag Team Championships against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the Iconics. No,
Iconics.
I'm not saying it's Iconics.
Iconics.
I kind of want to put the Iconics
Oh.
here, because what better way to help split them, than them to lose again to the Iconics like they did at WrestleMania last year, a year ago.
In another triple threat match too.
That was actually, I believe, was that a triple threat? I think it was a fatal 4-way.
Okay, another multi-team match.
Yes. But what better way for them the Iconics to capture the belts back from them by stealing a victory after because Bayley almost cost them the tag team championships on SmackDown by tagging herself in when Banks was putting the bank statement on, and then Nikki Cross had to fight back and almost retained.
Yeah.
So what if they did something similar, and then the Iconics were able to come in and steal the victory and become champions again? But I'm gonna go with Bayley and Sasha because I think it's just a little too soon to have them drop the belts.
I also feel that if you're going to set up a Bayley and Sasha face-off, it's too close to SummerSlam to make it work really well.
No. That's what they've been building since January.
Well, no, what I'm saying is pulling the trigger on breaking them up right after this. Yeah. That you're going to have 8 weeks to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad time to build, but you know that they wouldn't. That would be the second of 3 matches that these guys would have. It would have had to have happened at Money in the Bank for them to break up and have the split happen.
Which still would have been too soon. So,
yeah.
But no, what I think is a good thing to do is by holding the belts on a little bit longer, sometime at the end of June, almost right before, not at Extreme Rules. This has to happen, lose the belts before Extreme Rules, which will then lead to a miscommunication or something that will lead to the split up at Extreme Rules. Where Bayley will turn on Sasha, turning Sasha babyface, and that will lead into the program into SummerSlam. As much as I'd love to see them do it here, just because you have the perfect dynamic of having the Iconics come in and steal the championship again from Bayley and Sasha like they did at WrestleMania, but I don't think they're going to.
No.
Who's your pick?
What I could see happening here is the Iconics pick up the belts here. At Extreme Rules, we get I would love to do a Hell in a Cell between the two teams, but no. Instead, it's going to be a tornado tag match at Extreme Rules. Now, during this though, miscommunication happens and Bayley and Sasha lose the match to the Iconics. It's considered a clean win for the Iconics, but basically Bayley turns on Sasha accidentally in the middle of, in the ring. You know, it's one of those miscommunications. They bump into each other's type of move.
When she turns, she's not going to be a miscommunication.
Oh, no.
It's not her
miscommunicating
her turn.
Haven't gotten to it yet. So everyone in the audience assumes that was the turn. And that technically Sasha's going to turn on Bayley because Sasha took the pin. No, Bayley turns on Sasha for taking the pin. Bayley just starts blaming everything. Later on, she loses the women's title. It's Sasha's fault.
She's not gonna drop the title. It's gonna be for the title.
Well, yeah, she'll be dropping it to Sasha.
Well,
But
yeah,
it'll be
but
Sasha's fault that she drops the belt to Sasha.
you didn't say that. No. It's what I think is gonna happen is Bayley's gonna turn on Sasha because Sasha's gonna accidentally. It's gonna be Bayley's fault.
Yes.
But Sasha will hit Bayley, and Bayley will take the pinfall, and that will be what leads to Bayley turning on Sasha.
Yeah.
But who's your pick? Are you going with the Iconics?
Honestly, Bayley and Sasha will retain here.
Okay. All right, we have Apollo Crews defending the United States Championship against Andrade.
This is actually a tough one. Like, I want to say Apollo Crews is going to retain here, but I really want to say Andrade picks up the belt here. Actually, I like him being the United States champion.
I think it's too soon for Apollo Crews to drop the belt, but a lot of people are predicting Apollo's 3-week push is over, just like Ricochet.
Oh.
But
I'm sorry. It's the problem with having such such a stutter to everyone's push in any division is like it hurts the entire card because you start just being like, I don't feel like there's any rhyme or reason to follow somebody moving up or down the card. Like, there's just nothing.
Yeah.
And because of that, you're like, oh, his push is over. It's like, yeah, he's the champion. I kind of always feel that someone's push being over or continuing should happen when the belt's not on them.
Mm-hmm. So, who are you going to go with?
Andrade.
Ooh, we disagree. I'm going with Crews.
Ooh.
I think his push is going to be over, but I'm going with Crews. Hoping that this will change. He also just got new music and everything, so him dropping the belt after getting new music would just be dumb.
If his push is done, I can see them just being like, nope, you're dropping the belt tonight. I'm like, what?
Yep,
you just what? I'm one of the last guys who has 2 names in this company. Please. I'm so glad that you haven't just changed me over to Crews.
A year ago, he dropped the Crews, remember?
Oh, yeah, he was just Apollo.
Yep. Because he shared the same last name with the white supremacists, and Vince didn't want him associated with that for a little while.
No one would think that, okay?
Yeah.
God.
That's Vince's thinking.
That is the craziest thinking ever.
All right, so those are our predictions. We disagree on 2.
Just 2 of them.
If another matchup is added to the card with enough time for us to get it up on here, we will predict it, just like what happened with NXT TakeOver. But we have one question, Adam.
What's that?
And this question is takes place for actually a match that does not happen on the card. We're gonna predict who is gonna win the Intercontinental Championship on Friday night between AJ and Bryan.
Yeah.
So, and this will be a point. This will actually count towards a win or loss. It's not if you get it right. If we have a draw, it goes like, no, this is going to be actual point. It counts regardless. So, Adam, do you want the honor or should I?
Go right ahead.
I'm going with AJ. You brought him over You brought him over from Raw. Yeah. For star power. It's one of the few belts he actually hasn't won yet. So it's a great way to have that, put that belt on him, especially if the rumors are true that they want to use him in the mid card to help build up younger talent. You want a guy like him, as well as Daniel Bryan in that feud, but right now I think it would be a better feud. And you can even play it off where Bryan can take the belt off him later on.
Yeah.
But I'm going with AJ.
I actually don't know. I'm going to be honest. I am drawing a gosh darn blank, and because you chose AJ, I'm just like, I don't want to agree with him.
Tell Daniel Bryan it is.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with AJ, then it's Daniel Bryan. You have two options, dude. It's not like it's a triple threat.
But I didn't want to choose him. I didn't want to make a choice.
Well, I forced you to.
God. Okay, anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have our predictions for WWE Backlash, the greatest show. Yes, I stole that from Wrestle Talk, but I did it a little bit different, so it's different. So, ha. Let us know down in the comment section what you thought of our predictions. Tell us your own predictions for the show. And do you think Edge and Randy Orton will hold up to the greatest wrestling match of all time? Because Edge doesn't think so.
Yeah, no. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
You put someone else in there, if you remove one of the opponents in that matchup and you replace it with someone else, you could make an argument. I think they could have a match that you can make an argument for. And the person you have to remove to make that argument is none other than Edge.
Fair enough.
You do just realize that Randy Orton should be in the matchup, right?
No. No.
That's what I was saying. I was saying you remove Edge and Randy Orton remains in the matchup.
Oh. God damn
it. You did not catch that at all. You're like,
no.
Yeah, it makes sense. No. Edge stays, Randy goes and put in someone like AJ. And you have a potential, if they have, depending on the match, they could be a really great matchup.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to move on to TakeOver.
Yes.
Adam, did you watch TakeOver?
Not at all.
Here, hold on. Let me answer for you.
Okay.
No.
Nope. Didn't watch it. Mostly because it was Sunday night and I needed to go to work in the morning.
That is no excuse.
It's a valid excuse.
Never.
It's totally valid.
Ever.
Also, I don't have the network right now. I would not be able to afford it either.
Yeah. All right. So we did get a 6 matchup that we did not actually predict.
Yes.
On our last show. That was the second women's matchup. The 6 women tag match between Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Knox versus Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. We both got that one wrong. But we'll get to those in a second. But overall, let me give my overall thoughts because I have watched the show. It wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty decent show. It was definitely one of the weaker takeovers overall. I'm gonna say it. NXT, I think, really suffers. Well, at least takeovers really suffer from no fans.
Yeah.
Even when you have you have developmental talent in the audience, it suffered. No matter how good the matches were, it suffered. But let's go down. We'll start with the actual 6-women tag match because that opened the show. And we both predicted for the heels to win. They lost. which I mean, I understand you need to get these baby faces some wins because they haven't actually had a takeover win. Like Tegan Nox has not won over Dakota Kai yet in a takeover. Shotzi's been getting losses due to interference against Gonzalez and Dakota. So I understand what you wanted to get some wins on them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Candice LeRae just turned heel. And I'm sorry, regardless of you having her and Mia Yim fight to the back in the middle of this matchup, so when the finish goes down, it won't rub off on her. It still does. We all know she was in the matchup. We all know the trick. It still hurts her that she just turned heel and she now lost a match.
Yeah.
I will say this: I love her like deranged pixie kind of gimmick she has now.
Yeah.
She came out with like little decrepit pixie wings on. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
But then we went into Finn Balor against Damian Priest.
Which I listened to the Going in Raw podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Larson, great guys. In the inspiration for New England Wrestling Alliance every Sunday here on the ZOP Gaming channel. They said that this is probably the best match Finn Balor has had in WWE.
Well, they're idiots then, because their Johnny Gargano matchup was far better than this.
They're also saying that his stuff is, like, he personally is either getting more and more comfortable and able to make things look great, and his work is getting better and better and better. So yeah, I really do think that, like, Finn's just like, no, I'm in an environment where I can shine again. This is amazing. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
This matchup was good. The opening, for most of the matchup, I wasn't too keen on Priest. I think a lot of his offense it seemed manufactured to get him over, to show him, like, not that he's limited or anything, but he's still green, to a point. He's still good. By the end of the matchup, I was like, no, he's definitely a lot better. And he did a good job.
Are you saying that Punishment Martinez is green?
He's not that polished.
Okay. I'll let you have not polished, but
there's no term in wrestling that you're somewhat green is basically.
Because I mean, he's 38, dude.
I know, but he doesn't look 38, by the way.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
But no, it's like most of the offense came off as manufactured. It was still done well, but by the end of the matchup, I was like agreeing with that this was doing a lot better. It will get shine and help Priest. But for the most part of the matchup, I was like, I think you guys went a little too overboard on how much Priest would dominate. But it was still a good matchup. It is one of Finn Balor's most better matches lately.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, but Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano was far better than this matchup.
Okay.
By far.
Look, I'm just saying what I listened to from their show.
Well, they're idiots.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
So, no, I disagree with them if they think that was the better matchup.
You ready to have your mind blown a little bit? Finn Balor's the same age.
Yeah, it doesn't blow my mind.
I'm just like, they're both 2 years younger than me. God, what did I do with my life?
They're both 1 year older than me.
God, what have you done with your life?
A lot.
Moving on. Now we're moving on to the NXT North American Championship.
Yes. Speaking of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. Segue.
This is where I got my second loss of the night. As soon as this match started and I noticed a certain thing written on Keith Lee's tights, I knew he was winning.
Thank you,
As soon
Keith.
as I saw Black Lives Matter written on his trunks, I'm like, yep, he's winning. Which I'm not saying they did it because of that, but it was a clear sign that you're not going to have a Black Lives that on there. It was a total, like, I knew he was losing. The matchup was great, and they gave Gargano many spots where it was like, ooh, are they? And like, but every time after he kicked, I'm like, nope. I would go back, and every time that we got one of those more believable spots, I was like, it's possible, but no, Keith Lee's winning.
Yeah.
The main thing that really kind of sold it, I have to be honest, it was actually Keith Lee's tights with Black Lives Matter was the clincher. It wasn't the thing that actually made me believe he was going to truly. It was Johnny Gargano coming through and finding out that he lives in the In Your House set, by the way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he came through the front door, and he lives in the apartment behind that door. And he pulled the key out, locked it. He locked the door, put the key out, and dropped it into his tights. And I'm like, he's gonna use that, and he's gonna fail this time, like it worked the last time, and exactly what happened. I'm like, that's probably how the finish will if he loses. Keith Lee comes out, Black Lives Matters, Keith Lee's winning, which is fine. He's a great champion. I do think it would have been better for Johnny Gargano to win here, to have him build that back up, but I think they want to go with the whiny Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
But we'll see. But it was a good matchup. This was actually a really good matchup. You really get to see. It was a struggle a little bit because of the size difference between the two. And I'm not just talking about height. I'm just talking about Keith Lee's a big boy.
Yes.
And no matter what Johnny Gargano doing, he was wrestling a very heel style matchup. It's so hard to believe that he could take on and beat Keith Lee, because what we've seen Keith Lee do. But it was still a good matchup overall. Then we have the NXT Championship in a cinematic backlot brawl, which was taped beforehand and edited. And Adam, you had some comments from going in Raw about this matchup.
Yeah, the guys got confused as to the layout of the geography in this match. And
How
you pointed
dare
out...
they?
Yeah.
they can, how do they not? I was completely never lost. I knew exactly where they were the entire time. And no, it does not mean anything that I've been where that actually was filmed. I know the layout of it and I know it very, very well. No, it was clearly established by those wide shots of everything that were on the screen for a total of like 2 seconds, maybe 3 times overall. It was clearly
No, they also, there was like, they were not nice to this match. Okay, I'll say that now. They were like, this is like the fifth cinematic match, and it's the worst one so far.
It's not a cinematic match. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, yes, they pre-taped it and edited it, so you could call it. It was not I don't consider it a cinematic matchup because, unfortunately, my mind frame is a cinematic matchup is more. You have cinematics. It's like a shot like a movie. This was shot like a wrestling match.
That then was heavily edited.
Yes. They took breaks in between spots. Like, one spot that they took a break in was after Adam Cole went through a windshield. And you can tell this because by the time you see him come off, you can see the blood that they had on his arm was dried. It doesn't dry in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was like, I liked it. There was some decent spots, but you knew what was going to happen overall. My biggest thing was this. the ref starts the match off explaining that the only way to win is pinfall or submission in the ring that was set in the back lot of Full Sail.
Yeah.
And you can brawl wherever you want. You have cars around it, which none of them came into play, except for the one that the Undisputed Era brought in.
Right.
Which was dumb. So they battle around the set area, the back lot area, which was kind of funny because every time Adam Cole went to a door on this set, I'm like, that's locked. You're not getting in there, Adam. And he keeps going further and further down, which I can understand why people didn't know the layout.
Yeah.
I mean, someone who's gone to the school, has been back there, you know exactly where he's heading for. He's literally heading for the center door of the sets that join. It's the only door that's unlocked when you can actually enter through, because that leads to the casting lobby. I mean, there's another door before you can get into the building, which is locked. But there's a door you can actually go through. When Velveteen Dream went to the door to the left of that, I'm like, you can't get in there. I'm like, you can only go through there. Oh, look, he's going to go through there. I'm like, yeah, something's going to happen here. I still jumped when Adam Cole hit him with the fire extinguisher. I knew it. And I knew that door where it led to. But I can understand the geographic. I can understand a lot of things. I enjoyed it, but it was by far predictable. And you knew by the placement on this card, Adam Cole was retaining.
Yeah. It's in the middle of the card.
Yeah, middle of the card. But also, let's be honest, Keith Lee just retained his title. You could have made an argument with everything that's going on. They were going to go with 2 black champions, but that would just feel like pandering, I think. Like, oh, they're just doing this because of what's going on. It doesn't, like, it would degrade if Dream actually won it. I don't know if that would be the truth, but I think there's an argument could be made for it.
Mm-hmm.
But, so with Keith Lee winning, it was kind of obvious. It's also the placement on the card, obviously. But
yeah, it's smack dab in the middle.
But yeah, it was predictable. You knew Dexter Lumis was going to come out and interfere and keep the Undisputed Era, get rid of them. Oh, he did. Look, he drove off. I will say Mira Shifa, Roderick Strong's wife, threatened Dexter Lumis if he wasn't back that she was gonna make him end his tortured artist career. Responded that he just showed back up about 20 minutes ago. He started shaking 3 different times because of what Dexter Lumis apparently did to him. But overall, it was okay, but when you put the NXT Championship in the middle of the card, you know that belt's not changing hands. And then we have the next matchup, Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Everyone knew that Karrion Kross was winning this matchup. Everyone. I mean, everyone. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying, like you mentioned, that people were saying, I think going in Raw, that this matchup was a glorified squash match who didn't deserve to be on a takeover.
Yeah.
I disagree with that statement because while you do expect high-profile matchups, I do expect advancement of storytelling in here as well. And the storytelling here is Tommaso Ciampa is not at the level he was a year ago. I mean, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When he was basically the NXT champion, he's not the Blackheart that we remember.
No.
And this possible story that they could be telling of him to get back to Goldie, he has to go back to the Blackheart. And Karrion Kross is new, he's fresh, and boy did he look young. I've seen a lot of photos of him like in NXT, in Impact and all that. Yeah, he looks somewhat young, but in this matchup he looked super babyface, like super young.
Well, he's not much younger than you, so...
No, I know, but like he looked super young for some reason in this matchup. Maybe because his goatee was it was trimmed down a lot, so it wasn't as full. I've seen it in past photos. That could be it. I don't know, but this was an okay matchup. No one was expecting Tommaso Ciampa to win. Wrestle Talk was predicting and wanted this match to be a minute long. That would have been a disappointment if they did, but I think it would also have been cool. But I was fine with the length. I was fine that it was basically a squash match. It really puts over Karrion Kross as a big-time threat. And that he's going to be NXT champion very shortly. You know it. It will be interesting to see how the fans react to him when they have fans back.
That's true.
No matter how much you push him and make him feel like a big threat, if he comes out and the fans don't cheer for him or don't really react, it doesn't matter. Your plans are going to be put on hold.
Exactly.
I think he will get the response for the NXT universe, but it's one of those things. If you don't, right now you're in a safe zone where you get the crowd you want. Doesn't mean you're going to get the crowd you want once the fans come back. And then we have Charlotte Flair defending the NXT Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai.
Yes.
Ugh.
You needed that drink?
Yeah, because my voice is starting to...
Yeah.
Already.
So we've got the triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley. I called it.
Yeah. Well, remember, when we said this, I was hoping for Io.
Oh, I know.
But I called Charlotte because I just felt like, you know what? Knowing our luck, they're just going to stick with Charlotte.
Nope.
I'm glad. I'll take that loss. Johnny Gargano, I should have known. This one, I knew, I was hoping for, but something just kind of told me be on the cautious. But what was the point, though, of Charlotte being NXT Women's Champion and her not even putting someone over with Rhea taking the pinfall and not Charlotte? What was the point?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It comes across as her second reign as NXT Women's Champion was a transitional reign.
Yep. But here's the thing, though. We've been told that in 3 to 4 months, this will all make sense.
Right, because in NXT it might make sense, but in the overall WWE 3 shows, it won't make a lick of sense because Charlotte won't still be involved in it.
No, I doubt this will make sense in 3 to 4 months, and I really feel bad for Triple H when he said this. I actually don't know if he said it. I think he said it in the post show. But anyway, regardless of who said it, but whoever did say it, because someone did say this, it was through sources. In 3 to 4 months, if this doesn't make sense, I'm calling the shit out of him.
Definitely. Tweet at him. Just be like, at Triple H, yo, 3 to 4 months. What's going on? It's month 6, and none of that still makes any sense.
Yeah.
Are you a liar? Hypocrite? Hashtag hypocrite? Hashtag call you out?
Especially since Charlotte is now basically being told as Asuka's next opponent. Since she beat Asuka again on Raw. Yes, Nia came out with some distraction and all that. And this is supposed to lead to Charlotte's next challenger. But here's my thing. The storyline they're going for is Asuka can't beat Charlotte, and they're finally going to have her get the big victory at SummerSlam. Okay, great.
All right.
Pull Charlotte off every other show. She can only show up on Raw.
Exactly.
No other show. Because no one gives a fuck about Charlotte Flair because she's over-pushed. And it doesn't help when she goes out and points out that the reason why people are backlashing is because she doesn't just go away. She's always around because she's good. She's never injured. She doesn't yes, that's a great thing. That's a good thing. You're healthy. You're not getting injured.
Cool.
Which is a good thing.
Great
but
job.
But because of that, and you're so reliable, WWE is pushing you way too much when we need time away from you.
Yes.
So when you are brought back, people want to see you.
Okay.
Right now, no one really wants to see you. There's always those WWE marks who will always go for whoever WWE says we should be rooting for. I actually watched the Wrestle Talks podcast review of Raw, and they were talking about Charlotte. I just watched the chat area, and a lot of people were saying no one likes Charlotte, and there's a few people who were like, everyone loves Charlotte. We need more Charlotte. And I was like, that one guy is the WWE mark right there.
Oh, that is a hard WWE mark there. That is not a wrestling mark. That is a sports entertainment mark.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God. I know they exist, but to actually see one say it, I'm just like, you're an idiot. I have nothing against Charlotte Flair. She is good in the ring. And yes, for everyone saying, Asuka's match with Charlotte on Raw was amazing. It was great, which is a good thing. But at the same time, she's over-pushed when you put her on all 3 shows. And here's the thing. I get it. It's that the idea was to bring some prestige to the NXT Championship, Women's Championship. But see, it's going on these other shows. Okay, I understand that. But here's the problem. When she was on Raw, it was not about the NXT Championship. It was just Charlotte. She happened to have the NXT Championship, Women's Championship with her. Same for SmackDown. When she's on NXT, it was about the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And it didn't help elevate the Women's Championship because she wasn't talking about the NXT Women. She may talk about her feud briefly, but it was always about something about Raw. And it just devalued it. Then put over the fact that she did not take the pinfall and put Io over, further devalues the whole point of what this was.
No.
My guess is here is
I'm
what
sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry, Tim. I have to interrupt you here. That's not true. It elevated the NXT Women's Championship because WWE officially recognizes both of these championships as reigns that Charlotte has now. That's the only reason they put the belt on her one more time, is so that she has one more championship reign, getting her closer to breaking. No. Well, yeah, they recognize both of them. So yeah, it's 2 more, getting her closer to breaking her father's record of 16.
Yep. When they decided not to pull the trigger with John Cena breaking Ric Flair's record, which is not 16 times, it's 21 to 22 times, depending on
the official is it's between 21 and 25.
I think Flair has said he said it's about 22.
It's like he recognizes 22. There is
so I go off of what Ric Flair recognizes.
But there's also like stories of like 2 or 3 other matches where the belt changed and then changed back like immediately. So they're like, do we count those as 2 different matches? That type of confusion.
Yeah, I go off of Ric Flair because Ric Flair says more 22 than 16.
All right, whatever.
So I go off of what Ric Flair refers to as because I think that's better. I'm using his number because he
he's Ric Flair.
Them. He's Ric Flair, but he also knows the bigger reigns that are not recognized by WWE.
Right.
So I'm going to go off of that. But once you have Ric Flair decided John Cena's not breaking the WWE 16-time World Championship record, only tie it, they immediately said his daughter will be the one who does it. Not for men's titles, but in the sense of in her division.
Right.
Which, again, I'm okay with it in a sense because it's a good story you can play. Late to the game. She was late to coming to wrestling.
Yeah.
And she still broke her father's number of reigns.
Exactly.
It's a good story. Also, she came into wrestling after her brother who passed away, who wanted to do wrestling, and she did it for him and found out how much she loved wrestling. And then became so successful, living up to the Flair name.
Right.
It's a great story. But when you do that, you have you're almost 3/3 of the way there in 6 years.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous.
But yeah, I want to go back to because Charlotte Flair actually has commented on why I always said that like she's always there and there, but yes, it's just a good thing. But you need to you're not understanding that because you're always there. Whether it's you're pushing for it or it's just WWE, you're overexposed, and that's a bad thing.
Oh yeah, totally.
You should actually take some time off and let the fans want you back. Because that would be a great thing. Look what it did for Becky when she took some time off to go film a movie.
Yep.
She came back in time for WrestleMania, but she was in the Women's Battle Royal. They started to kind of give her some wins on Raw, on SmackDown, to build her up so she actually earned the title shot. And then they did the whole heel thing. Look what that did for her. If you did something, they did something similar with Charlotte, you could build her back up after months away.
Exactly.
Also, guess what that would do months away? It would allow her to, any nagging little injury things that be there could heal up, being her in better conditioning.
Yes.
She could have time to rest. She's engaged right now, so she could get married.
Exactly.
So
have an actual honeymoon.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but like, if we're gonna get this Asuka versus Charlotte and Asuka finally getting the big win over Charlotte, I'm fine with it. But she's gotta stop. Not if we're gonna see her on every fucking brand.
Yeah, I don't want to see her on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights every week, and a Sunday night once a month. Like that's too much.
It's too much. It's too much for anyone.
If she's part of the women's championship storyline for a brand, she is on that show during that storyline.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So,
but
that was NXT Takeover.
We didn't even talk about the match itself. We just complained about Charlotte.
Yeah, it was a good matchup. I mean, I think a lot of people have pointed out that while Rhea looked good, Charlotte looked good, but when you looked at Io, she's so far on a different level.
Oh yeah,
she's been doing it longer than all of them since she was 14. Like she's been. Japanese wrestlers start way earlier than anyone.
Yes.
Over there, so they have more experience. By the time that they get 20, they've already been wrestling for like 7 years, so they have an unfair advantage in a sense when they come over here, to a point. But
I mean, that's also a number of years of damage before they get there.
Well, yes, true.
But at the same time, it's training.
You've seen a few Joshi Stardom wrestlers who are actually pretty young, who just retired because of the wear and tear.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the big spot of her diving off the house, I called immediately. As soon as Charlotte threw her into the Videotron, I'm like, and they went this way, and I'm like, yeah, Io's gone. Oh, no, she's not. She's going to dive off the house. I predicted the garage. No, she went over the front door. But I'm like, she's gone so she can climb up. Like, we're supposed to not remember who she is. So when she climbs up, she can get into spot and then dive off. I'm like, I knew it was coming. But, dude, it was still a far... The garage part would have been a little bit, I think, awesomer because it's higher up. But still, from the top where she dives to where they caught her and then still go to the ground, that's like 12 feet.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Again, the finish I called. She was going to come off a moon, so she got thrown out of the ring. Charlotte was going to put the figure 8 on. Io was going to come off onto a moonsault. I was hoping on Charlotte, not Rhea. But the moonsault literally kneed Rhea in the face.
Yes, that's true. I would have preferred it to be on Charlotte because while Charlotte's all bridged, doing the figure 8, Wouldn't it be cool to see it land? And all she has to do is wait for the moment that you're just about to receive contact and just let herself go limp.
Yeah.
Just so you're both absorbing it.
Yeah.
And that would have been a cool finish. And then go for the pin plus the sudden snap in the legs while you're also having the other person in the figure 4. She just hurt both people at the same time. It's just like, oh, that would have been a cool spot.
Exactly. I think it would have been a great little spot, but it is what it is. Charlotte can't be bothered to put people over. Not saying that it's just Charlotte's doing.
No.
Someone in WWE doesn't want Charlotte putting people over. I wouldn't be surprised if the order came down from high, Vince saying Charlotte can't lose. She can drop the belt, but she can't be the one who takes the pinfall. I could see him demanding that. Don't know for a fact it is, but oh well. All right, so we did have a question, Adam. Will there be some kind of debut in any form? The answer we both picked was no, and we were right. It doesn't really matter because that was a tiebreaker question, but we didn't have a tie. You had all but one wrong. I know you had all but one right.
Yes, that's correct.
I had 3 wrong. So
it was a wonderful victory, and still champion. That's right. The champ is here. I need to get these out of the way.
You never know when I'm gonna
exactly.
get tired of Actually, Adam, just so you know, I'm letting you win this because I got bored of just constantly destroying you.
Really.
So when I get bored of losing and I really want my belt back. That's when I'm gonna start. I'll start actually winning.
Okay. All right.
Watch the first time I win the belt back. Then the next we come to record. We go to record. You get a little knock on your door, and you answer, and it's me. It's like, Tim, what are you doing here? I'm like, I came for my fucking belt, you bastard. I know you won't send it to me. All right, so let's move on to some news.
Yes.
I don't remember the order we're putting these in.
Oh, so. I got this right away. We're starting this news off with an indie promotion getting a video of theirs taken down. A DMCA hit.
Yeah, so Bar Wrestling put a link to a free matchup of Brian Cage versus Jake Atlas. Both these men are not with Bar Wrestling anymore. Jake Atlas is with WWE's NXT, and Brian Cage is with AEW.
Is Jake Atlas like a bigger name now, under a different name?
No, he hasn't debuted yet. He has recently signed with NXT recently.
Okay.
But I guess because they did make a big deal about him signing. Oh, Jake Atlas. Yeah, he was part of the cruiserweight tournament.
Oh.
That's why because he's been wrestling. I thought he didn't, but no, he was part of the cruiserweight tournament. I guess he's a bigger name from the indies, but I didn't know who it was. But half of the indies guys these days I don't know anymore, and that's from Ring of Honor or Impact or New Japan. But so what happened was they put a link up there. Twitter took it down, then basically froze their account, basically saying you have copyright information. This is a violation. They even posted they took a picture and posted this on Twitter once they got their account back. This is from their email, actually. This is a picture of their email. The following material has been removed from your account in response to the DMCA takedown notice copied at the bottom of this email. And it talks about the thing, and it comes down to reported the description of the infringement. This tweet is posting illegal links that are not authorized to represent WWE in any way. WWE is my client. They have requested to take down all fake and fraudulent accounts which are violating the Twitter's users. Please remove this offending tweet at the earliest. Thank you. Here's the thing. They responded once they got this resolved, apparently. Bar Wrestling posted, WWE pulled a tweet and our Twitter was temporarily locked for posting a link to Jake Atlas versus Brian Cage with footage we own and using a photo we commission and own.
Yeah, it is the most ridiculous like Brian Cage, huge signee, like big name right now. He's like buzz around him right now. It would have in an evil corporate sense, it would have made more sense for AEW to try to pull this type of stunt because Brian Cage is so big right now.
Yeah.
Not WWE, who I had to ask who Jake Atlas was.
And the guy didn't even win the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah.
So, and then it's just kind of funny because, like, it just goes to show you how lazy they are. And you're like, oh, this is one of our talents in it. Oh, this must be a fake account. Because no one exists. No one wrestling exists outside of WWE.
Exactly.
They cannot show that they have any history outside of WWE. They just magically appear from in the Performance Center to learn from scratch, and then we set them free. And only the true gifted ones who show up the first day and just learn it in a week get to start wrestling immediately on TV. Yeah, this is just a joke. Brian Cage actually retweeted this and even asked people to promote them and all that for that. It's just really... This just shows you how big WWE feels like they can because they have a talent. They can think they can bully people to remove stuff that they don't own. The company they're bullying owns it and is using it in promotion. They have no right to stop that, but they think they can because the talent is not with them.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. How about you actually do your job, WWE, and actually look at the post to make sure they're not actually using, posting your content, but they're actually they're actually what they're using before you do this. All right, so our next piece of news is a major talent in AEW is starting his own wrestling school.
Ooh,
Adam.
who is starting their own school?
Who do you think?
Tully Blanchard.
No.
Taz.
Nope.
Darby Allin.
No.
Ooh.
I'm gonna make you go through the entire roster.
Yeah, probably will. Kenny Omega?
No. 325 guesses later.
Yeah, hold on. A few moments later. Dustin Rhodes. Runnels.
Wrong. No, you're right.
What?
Dustin Rhodes is starting his own wrestling school. There's no real details on it. It's just been announced that he's going to be doing this. He posted my wrestling school is in planning stages. Always dream of having one. Gonna make that a reality. Can't wait. Hashtag Rhodes Wrestling. Stay tuned. Hashtag Texas. So I'm assuming that's where it's gonna be located. Which is cool. It's hard to pick someone outside of Dustin who has the knowledge to really to start one. I mean,
yeah.
He's like a perfect person to do it.
That man has I'm going to say this now. It's kind of a hot take. Maybe stunning and brave. I don't know. But I'm going to say this. Goldust, or more accurately, Dustin, deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
You shut your mouth, you fool. Goldust will never be in the Hall of Fame. I kind of know because of the fact that he went with AEW at the end of his career, but I really do feel that if in a perfect world there would be a overall wrestling Hall of Fame that everyone would go, all right, here it is, the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Or I would like the WWE Hall of Fame to be they go, no, you can be from any league or any promotion, and we'll put you in here if you've done enough. Just so you know.
Yes.
There is an actual Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame outside of WWE.
Oh, there is?
It exists.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons why Honky Tonk Man was so critical of the WWE's Hall of Fame when you didn't have like Bruno Sammartino in there, because he was in the actual the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and all that. But it doesn't get as much publicity because everyone knows WWE, and so many people look at WWE as the Hall of Fame of pro wrestling.
Right.
And while they have been known to put people who've never been in WWE into the Hall of Fame, but it's usually from major legends from the territory days who get to go in. People from WCW get to go in now if they deserved it because WCW was bought by WWE. We see a little bit of a change because of Jushin Tiger Liger.
Yes.
Is going to be going in this year whenever they actually have that, if it's at SummerSlam or not, but he'll be going in because Triple H is such a fan of his. And I think when we get Triple H in charge, we will see more people from around being invited to come into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I would like to see it, it be one of those that, there's certain requisites that you have to hit.
Yeah.
In the company, it's like, that you're going to be a first ballot if you're a Grand Slam champion and you've been with the company more than 15 years, you're most likely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Outside the company, it's, did you do something? Did you have like an incredibly long career?
Yeah.
Or did you do something that turned the head of wrestling overall? Just like everyone, like Jushin Thunder Liger, everyone turned and looked at him. He was just like, okay. I mean, it's probably the most ridiculous character ever. He's supposed to be a superhero. That is literally his character.
Actually containing a demon inside his uniform.
Yes. I mean, at the same time, when you break down The Undertaker, you go, he's undead zombie. Oh.
But doesn't eat brains.
And he's also has magical abilities too. You're like,
and he's obsessive with an urn.
Yeah. You're like, okay, when you break down The Undertaker that way, it's not that cool anymore, okay? But no, like, Goldust should be in because I pointed out he's been in four different promotions that all have major had major television distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ridiculous to think about. I will not say that he had a successful run in all of them. TNA. Oh God, that was a horrible character. Why would they do that?
He was really angry.
Oh yes, he was
at WWE when he did that character.
You had to really. That was like a one and done character as well. And that character should have just been like, that was done out of spite. That was pure spite. That was like, you know what? I'm going to go through with this just to screw them over. And you're like, wow. So that's how you thought you were going to get your revenge. Okay. I mean, all right.
Yeah. But it was definitely good to see that he's going to be diving into this teaching element, which is cool. I can't really think of a better teacher at the moment who still actually managed to wrestle decent matches at his age.
Exactly.
And all that. Especially with all the injuries he's had over the years.
Exactly.
All right, Adam, we have to go back to Randy Orton now.
I'm sorry, what?
So
I was having
Randy
my
Orton,
evil maniacal laughter for a moment. I'm sorry. We have to go after Randy Orton for being a dick to people on Twitter?
Yes, and his wife, because she was being a bitch to people on Twitter.
Oh, I did not know about her.
Oh, you haven't heard about that?
No, tell me on that. Like,
we'll
we'll
I
get
got
to
all
that.
the tweets right here. Okay, so Randy Orton decided to be a dick to NXT, calling. I'll just read his tweet that he wrote after Takeover in Your House. He said, "Heard hashtag WWE NXT hashtag Takeover in Your House was great. Slapping my leg for you guys. Sincerely, hashtag leg slap." If you don't know what the whole point of this leg slap thing, it's kind of like a diss to the current indie type of wrestling where you do a lot more dives and selling. Like
and there's super kicks.
Super kick. Well, not just super kicks, but slapping to make super kicks seem more impactful.
Exactly.
Randy, if you have a problem with that, you should take it up with Shawn Michaels because he's the one who did that.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
You have an issue, you have it with him before the indies.
This is literally a wave of an homage to him.
Yeah. And people loving Shawn Michaels so much, they didn't want to degrade his finisher. They just wanted to use it because they saw such a great move. So he's insulting NXT for the leg slapping and all that stuff. Well, the Blackheart Ciampa decided he didn't like this, and he just wanted to let the world know that his daughter was having some trouble sleeping, but he found a great cure for it, a great remedy for it.
Oh yeah, what's that?
And this is what he said: "My daughter has been having trouble sleeping lately. Luckily, I found the remedy. Randy Orton matches, better than NyQuil. Sincerely, hashtag an entire locker room who bust their asses."
Yeah.
Well, Randy Orton didn't like that, but yeah, I'll let you comment.
I'm going to comment on that one because, yeah, I saw that. I saw that reply, and that was, whew. We'll just say oof. Randy, do you need some aloe? Because that was quite a burn. I know that what you were trying to do was to burn the NXT. Try to get a little jab in on them. Because, they do a lot of kicks and stuff, and they slap their legs. That's really cool and all. Well, it's what the audience wants, Randy. So, nobody's wanted your matches since 2010. Honest.
Hey, Randy, I dare you to go down to NXT and try to last there a year and having at that pace. You won't last a match at that pace.
Nope.
I doubt your cardio can go that fast anymore. You have cardio, but your pace of cardio. Not their pace of cardio, and you wouldn't last.
Nope.
But anyway, Randy Orton's feelings were apparently hurt because he responded, "Looks like I hurt the feelings of the self-appointed locker room leader of a wrestling school. Let me know when time hashtag leg slap class starts so I can get my game to the next level." Once again, he's just being a dick because he just doesn't understand what fans want, and he just doesn't give a fuck about putting effort into his matches anymore.
No, he does not. And honestly, he could have tried here and just been like, "Look, I'm just busting your balls, buddy." He's like, "You guys you guys put on a..." Because honestly, a good locker room leader, no matter where he is, no matter what promotion the person's with, will always go, "You guys put on a good show. I'm giving you a little ball busting, but you put on a good show."
Yep.
No, instead Randy's like, no, I have to insult you to make myself seem better. It's like, Randy, we're gonna see. I want to see Ciampa to come back and just be like, "So you had a week to cut so that was the match you guys put together?"
Huh. That's why he's waiting. He hasn't responded because I'm guaranteeing he's waiting for the Edge and Randy Orton matchup to strike back.
At that point, I'd just be like, so you call me out, you call out our entire locker room by just saying that we're only a school, we're only, we're lowly players, and then you put on that match? Huh. Okay. I feel sorry for Edge. Like, that should be the end of it. Like, be like, dude, I'm sorry that you had to have that match with, like, sorry, at Edge Copeland, that you had to have that match with Randy. I'm so sorry, dude. Come here and have a better match with me. We have the same type of neck.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Randy's wife Kim decided to get in on the disc.
Of course she did.
At Randy Orton, isn't that the same guy who took credit for all those great matches, which is in parentheses, that he didn't put together?
What matches has Randy put together?
I know. What great matches he's put together in the last decade?
Like, I'm sorry. NXT allows the talent to have input into their matches. The WWE main roster, they're handed a sheet of paper and told that you're going to hit these spots.
Not necessarily, but that's pretty much, I mean, it's the producer's job to put the match together, and let's be honest, most of the time you guarantee Vince has been, I want these spots, or he's probably there. Maybe upper talent like AJ can actually get some say on his spots.
Okay.
But you know, everyone outside the main event don't get that.
Okay, now let me flip that around. Is she saying that Randy Orton calls his own matches? Because if so, why does he call the same boring match?
I know. Because it's it's boring.
I mean, cool. We get to see he stomps each individual limb, the one ankle, then the other, then the wrist, then the other wrist, again in this match. It's like, does no one scout his matches?
I know. Does anyone not know when he's going to come out of nowhere to hit an RKO? Because I do.
Yeah.
And it's rarely, like, I mean, if you look at this spot just as they are, yes, it's out of nowhere. But if you've watched enough Randy Orton matches over the years, you know exactly where the RKO is coming from.
Okay. I do have to say, I like it when his RKO truly does come out of nowhere, because it's not, the opponent isn't stunned. It's just suddenly like against Evan Bourne. When Evan Bourne went for the Sunset Flip. And I was just like...
You mean the Shooting Star Splash?
Shooting Star Splash, yeah. When he goes for that and he gets put into an RKO. Okay, that's out of nowhere. Against Seth Rollins, where Seth went for the curb stomp, and instead got those. I love those. Those are the greatest RKOs. The ones where he's hitting the mat and it's being like clearly set up. I'm like, this should be reversed. This one should be reversed every time.
I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about literally the matches where, like, you can tell based on the framing.
Oh yeah.
That even those matchups, if you go back and watch them and you look at the framing, you can tell the RKO is coming. But at the moment, because you had a good matchup, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania with Randy Orton was probably Orton's last good matchup. Honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can kind of see those coming, but if you get an actual out of nowhere RKO, like when he's not even at ringside and he comes out of nowhere and strikes with an RKO somewhere, those are cool because you don't even know he's there.
Yes, but during a match,
yeah, you can tell
they frame up the RKO out of nowhere.
Yep, they're framing it up. Here it comes. So I really want Randy to stop this being dickish. You know what, Randy? If you want people to stop calling you out, prove us wrong. Go and actually give us an old-style Randy Orton matchup from years ago. Like when you were the Legends Killer. When you were the first turn to the Viper.
Yes! When we didn't know... When you didn't have the stomp, the ankle, wrist in every one of your matches.
Yeah. Not the WrestleMania 3 Stages.
Oh no, I think I lost him.
That you had with Triple H.
Video.
We don't want that one.
What happened?
Yep. Adam, you're frozen.
Come back to the video.
I'm just gonna keep on talking because this is now the Tim Show.
What happened to my video here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no,
your
I'm
video
still here.
Well, your video just disappeared on my end.
No, it's cool. It's cool. There we go.
There we go.
It was the internet. This is going to be a great episode because there's going to be a moment where it's you saying things and me saying things and nobody has no idea what's going on, and I'm just going to put stuff up in the video. Technical difficulties.
No, you should just put up. This is where Tim and Adam stopped actually listening to each other, and we just talked over each other and didn't actually pay attention.
Oh no, I was talking about losing the video.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was talking
it's
about
also
like you
kind
lost
of
the video, and it's now the Tim show.
Yeah.
But
it's also kind of the end of the night.
That's everything.
Oh,
wow.
Dude, I did hear that HQ for WWE. To bring this back to our last subject, HQ at WWE /Vince is not happy about this exchange between Ciampa and Orton. And because I did not do any other follow-up. I just saw that they were not happy about it. And I'm like, well, I'm really sorry about that, Ciampa. Someone's going to get talked to.
See, I know why that is. Because Vince hates it when two wrestlers start setting up a potential matchup that they have no plans to do anytime soon.
Yeah.
And he hates that. But he's completely fine when the WWE actually does the exact same thing, but then don't go through with the match. Because Vince has decided it's final for him.
Right. No, see, in this one, it should... Now, I understood when... They didn't enjoy when they basically told the NXT guys, "Look, don't try to call out the main roster people. Just just avoid it." That makes sense. This situation, Randy is in the wrong. He started it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's all we have for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know down in the comments section what you thought of this podcast, our predictions. The whole Randy Orton Tommaso Ciampa feud. Let us know down in the comment section. Since you're going to be heading down that way and you're nearly a little over an hour and a half into this podcast, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up.
Boop.
And since it's right there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding.
Ring that bell.
Ding. Ding.
And get bent. Like Randy at Orton's dickish attitude.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's a good. It's okay.